I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man. You got AJ Brown, who's a legit number one, and you got Julio, who's another legit number one. One of them dudes gotta get double teamed. Who gonna get double teamed? And whoever gets double teamed, the other one gets the ball. I'm saying this with no pun intended, with full of pride. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Prideful Takes podcast. As always, it's your boy Pride. It's Monday. You know what that means. I got that boy Mike in the building. How you feeling, my guy?
Yo, what's up? I'm feeling good, man. How about yourself?
I'm all right. See, there has been you and I had a discussion, right? And I said something. I had an opinion on a certain individual, and you didn't like it. You wasn't a fan of it, right? And you've been waiting for 2 weeks, and I think it's time for everyone to hear the genesis on my opinion of Kobe being Bryant. Now, I want to start. Let me just start off with the take, and then I'll go from there. Ever since his passing, Kobe Bryant has become one of, if not the most overrated player in the history of the NBA. Now that I got the take out there, I'm gonna let it simmer, let it relax, let it kind of percolate in your minds. The thing I need people to understand, just because I called him overrated does not mean I'm saying he's trash. I just want to throw that out there, because the problem is when I say someone's overrated, a lot of people make the mistake and say, "Oh, well, if you're calling him overrated, you're saying he's trash." That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying at all. I have Kobe Bryant as a top 10 player. I have him between 6 and 8. That's where I have him. He was not better than Tim Duncan. I don't care what anybody says. And ain't no debate, Pops. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, the problem I have is a lot of people put Kobe Bryant at number 3 and even higher. And a lot of people have been doing this ever since he passed away, which I believe is not fair. I don't think it's right, because when Bill Russell passes away, are we going to call him the GOAT? Like when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I believe is the greatest Laker of all time, when he passes away, are we just going to automatically clear the way and say, okay, now he's going to supersede Mike? That's number one for me. I feel like when he passed away, people kind of started looking at it and saying, "Oh my God, we're in the moment, and let's kind of hype it up, so to speak." Right? That's number one. So, if you want, I'm gonna give it point by point, and then if you would like, you can respond to any of these points. So, me saying that, is there anything you want to rebut with my first point?
I mean, I understand your point, and I do believe there's some people out there who, just since he passed, who has been saying things that they haven't really usually be saying. But me personally, I got Kobe number 2, number 3. He in my top 5. But if I sit down and really think about it, then I can give you. I say Kobe Bryant. I'll have Kobe Bryant number 2 behind Michael Jordan. That's my honest opinion. But I can understand where you're coming from.
I mean, look, I've never looked at Kobe as a top 5 player all time. I've never looked at him like that. I did it. Hell of a player, you feel me? All time great. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like ever since he passed away, people wanted to put him in this pedestal. Where?
But he.
Good.
But some people put him in that pedestal way before he passed. Like, look at his body of work. How can you not argue that the man's a top 5?
I can argue it easy.
How can you sit here and put?
Matter of fact, I'll do other. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. This is point number 1. In what sport? Name me any sport. Name me one sport where the greatest player of all time only has one MVP to his name. I'll wait. Because Kobe only has one. He only has one. So, again, I'm asking, when it comes to an MVP, what player in any sport, and please, if anyone knows any sport, let me know. Educate me. Because if I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. Rio, what it do, baby? But if I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. But let me know what sport the greatest of all time only had one MVP. If Mike only had one MVP, people would be killing him. Let's put this in context now. If Bron only had one MVP, we'd kill him. Shaq only has one MVP, and even though everyone thinks that Steve Nash should not have two, that he robbed, I think it was the second one that he robbed Shaq, we still kill Shaq for only having one MVP. We still kill him for it.
And yet, he's still a lot of people, maybe top 5 players. People call him the dominant big man. He only got one MVP.
But
The
again,
most dominant big man with one MVP.
Right, and guess
People
what?
still call him that.
And guess what? We don't put him as the GOAT. We don't call him the GOAT center.
Yeah, but I never said Kobe Bryant was the GOAT. I'm just saying.
Ya tú sabes, loco. LeBron is the GOAT. I don't care what no one says. LeBron is the GOAT. 100%. Ya tú sabes, loco. But all right, but that's point number one. I don't know how we can put anyone in the GOAT conversation if they only have one MVP. That's just me, right? I think that's kind of a knock on you, especially considering people say that he dominated a whole era of basketball. How are you dominating it, and at the same time you're only giving me one MVP? I'm only asking for consistency's sake. If any other player dominated and only had one MVP to show for it, we're killing them. We need to be honest here. We're slaughtering them. If it's LeBron, if it's Will, I'm gonna list some all-time greats: Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tim Duncan. These are guys who, if they only had one Finals MVP, we're killing them. What makes Kobe the exception? Asking for a friend. So is that? And again, hold on. Let me say this real quick, Mike. Mike, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to. I'm only laying the groundwork because I've told this. When I say this, people automatically get mad. And my thing is, look, you don't got to agree with me. But when I lay the groundwork, you will understand why I came to my conclusion. And I'm not going to sound as crazy as I did in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm not saying this to change your mind. I'm just letting you know because, you know what I mean? This is what I've been using. These are the steps I've been using to determine it, right? So, and on top of that, efficiency. Do you know how many times in his entire career, he ever shot 47% or better from the field? Do you know? Matter of fact, you say a few times. Matter of fact, I will answer this question with another question, if you don't mind, right? What is 1 minus 1? 0. That's how many times Kobe Bryant shot 47% or better from the floor. One of the most inefficient scorers in the history of the NBA. Oh, and by the way, the whole Kobe Bryant is clutch thing, let's dispel that myth. Because listen, he had the nuts to get the balls to take those difficult shots. But again, he missed way more than he made. So again, for consistency's sake, I don't understand why Kobe gets all this extra love when if you just watch him and look at the stats, if you do both, he played this game that frankly wasn't even like his game. Listen, again, some of the best footwork on the block, third for the fadeaway, we'll take that from him. Outside of that, Kobe Bryant was pretty solid, but he wasn't no dominated figure. Let's call it what it is. Like we gonna like when it comes to Kobe Bryant, we're gonna need to inject some honesty in the conversation. We have to. And again,
so what you saying is he was a footwork was good. So he was you saying he was a mid 3-point shooter, a mid driver. I give you he wasn't a good playmaker. So you saying he was a mid defender, he was a mid rebounder. So you saying the only thing good Kobe had?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what he had. The only thing he had, well, two things he had in being elite, right? There's two things he had, two skill levels he had that was elite. Patty Kobe still the best Kobe. I'm gonna put it to you this way. excuse me, I'm gonna put it to you this way. And if anyone gets upset with me, I apologize. His fadeaway was elite, and his footwork on the block was elite. And you could say his mentality in terms of always shooting the shot. You could say that, right? You could say that. His 3-point was not as great as everyone wants it to be. His 3-point was not that great. His whole thing with him handling the ball, Kobe's dribble was not phenomenal. It was not this thing that, oh my goodness, he's so great, etc., etc. If you really look at it, Kobe Bryant, he would listen again, hell of a player, but top 5? That's absurd. To me, that's absurd, right? Now, I'm gonna keep going.
It's like my man's can play defense. My man wasn't scared to play defense. My man's can rebound. He can get it. He can get his shot off anywhere on the court. And it's hard to take the best player in the game of Michael Jordan and do what he did and make it look perfect. That shit is hard.
No, he didn't make it look perfect. If anything, he made it look even worse.
What? No, he made Michael Jordan. He looked like another version of Michael Jordan. You know how many people try to do the same thing and they fail?
He was a poor man's Michael Jordan. No. Let's call it what it was.
To do what he did, man. That's people don't do things like that. You went at Jordan when he was young. He won that.
That's fine. You know who else went at Jordan? Isaiah. You know who else went at Jordan?
You cannot sit here and tell me Kobe Bryant not a top 5 player.
No, he's not. He's not.
How can you give LeBron James number 2?
Easy.
I get LeBron James got 4 MVPs. Outside of 4 MVPs, how do you get LeBron James number 1?
Easy. He dominated the conference for how long? He dominated the conference for a long time. He's basically 27-7-7, which his averages better than Kobe's. His efficiency better than Kobe. His clutch shots better than Kobe's.
His clutch shot.
Yes, 110%. I will say this to the day I die. And the only people who disagree with it are the people who don't want to admit it and are stuck in their shell. LeBron James is even more clutch than Kobe Bean Bryant. And it's not even close. It's not even close how clutch LeBron is. We didn't see
LeBron melt down plenty of times.
And guess what?
But nobody called him out. Nobody called LeBron James out when he melt down, when he walked off the court from
time out. See, I love when you do this.
He do all these things, but nobody call him out on his bullshit.
Everyone calls him out.
Like
first and foremost,
he can't do no wrong.
Said this. No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
He can't do
because
no wrong.
Hold on. You can't say that.
He'll see a teammate shoot, miss. He wouldn't hustle back on defense. You ain't never seen Kobe Bryant get frustrated like that.
All the time. Kobe Bryant would miss a shot and complain to the refs and leave his team 4-on-5. Don't sit here and tell me Kobe was that dude who would run down and do. No, there were times Kobe Bryant left his teammates 4-on-5 on defense, only for afterwards his teammates would get the stop. He would see it, stop arguing with the refs, and demand the ball to get an easy layup. Stop playing with me. Nope. I do not get why we put him on this pedestal. And by the way, the thing you said about LeBron, how he never gets blamed for anything. That's not true. He gets blamed. When Kyrie left, who took the blame? Who they blame? LeBron. When David Black got fired, who they blame? LeBron. 2011, everyone and their mother blames LeBron James for that. Even LeBron blamed himself for that. Last year, getting bounced in the first round, no one said nothing about. The only people who said it was injuries were Lakers fans. Everybody else, LeBron? If you show that guy, you gotta handle it. They killed LeBron.
A few people who always like the skip business, people who always attack LeBron. Those gonna be the same people who are attacking LeBron.
No.
I
In
watch these
2011,
sports
in
shows every
2011, hold
we
on. In 2011,
Shannon.
Stephen A.
I
Smith
didn't
was
watch.
coming at him for that.
I didn't watch my man Shannon Sharp
Mhm.
countless times back LeBron James after every time he fumbled the bag. Here comes Shannon Sharp, still backing him up. The only people who come at LeBron is the LeBron. You can say the LeBron haters. It's because
No,
once LeBron haters say something, then you consider LeBron hater. Once you critique LeBron
not
James,
even. No, no. Because here's the thing: when you criticize LeBron, I want to hear the context. If you're one of the people who
like
says, "Oh yeah, LeBron got the ball in his hands," you need to chuck up a three because you're that guy. When you say stuff like that, then you don't know what you're talking about.
like
I'm not going to
LeBron
kill
James.
LeBron if he passes it to the wide open guy. LeBron James is the only guy in NBA history who is not allowed to use his teammates. When
LeBron
Michael
James
Jackson
is
passed,
a
hold on.
phenomenal.
When MJ passed it to Steve Kerr or John Paxson, they hit the shot. Oh, that was MJ doing the right play. But when Bron does the right play, all of a sudden we killing him. What?
I don't kill him. I don't kill him.
No,
I
but
don't kill him.
you literally just said that he always out here just passing the rock. Well, he's making the right play. That's what
I
I
ain't say
care
just
about.
passing the rock. No, I said it's been plenty of times where he done had a meltdown and people don't come at him the way they'll come at like a Kobe Bryant or something. LeBron James got a lot of passes throughout his career. The only people who come at LeBron is like the Skip Bayless of the world or people who they say are LeBron haters. LeBron James to me he a top 5 player, but don't people make it seem like he don't got flaws in his game. When we didn't see this man's just zone out of a series just because a teammate missed a shot, or he'll just try to throw it together a team, and once the shit don't go right, everybody else is scapegoat except for him.
Oh, if I didn't know better, you just described Kobe Bryant. Because wasn't this the same dude who blew a 3-1 lead to Phoenix?
Okay,
He blew a
but
3-1 lead before it was cool. What?
I understand Kobe Bryant. I understand all Kobe Bryant flaws though. I'm not saying here saying I'm coming out. I'm saying the same thing you said about Kobe Bryant. You can say the same thing about LeBron James.
Look, excuse me.
Kobe Bryant had
Look,
his flaws. Yes, he did. I could admit that. In my opinion, I think he's a top 5 player. But you cannot sit here and say LeBron James don't got the same flaws.
what flaws does LeBron
I
have?
didn't see. I seen
There's
Kobe
only
put
one
on his
flaw I
team.
know LeBron got. There's only one flaw that I know LeBron got. There's only
And
one flaw.
what is that? And
And
what
that
is
is
that?
there are times where he gets in his he gets in a shell and he throws a pissy fit on the court. And he occasionally does that. He occasionally does
Casey
that.
does that a lot.
No, no, he doesn't. He
I
doesn't
didn't
do that
see
a lot.
ever
If
since
a
he
dude, hold
came
on.
to
If
LA. I
hold
seen
on,
him
hold on.
does that plenty of times, bro.
Hold on. I've seen Michael Jordan walk off when his last sub out, they're getting smashed by double digits, and he walked off before the end of the buzzer. Nope, and
I
no
see
one said
LeBron do
nothing.
that too.
KD has done it. Kobe has done it. Shaq has done it. I think the only person who has never done it as a top 5, like a top 10 player of all time, the only person I think who did not do it was probably Tim Duncan. And that's probably because Greg Popovich would not let him do that under any circumstances. Because Greg Popovich believes if you got to take your L's like you take your dubs. If I had to guess, he's the only one who hasn't done it. Outside of him, everyone has done it. So has Kobe. So
That's why I said. That's why I
right, but don't
said.
make it seem like
I can.
Kobe only did it once. You're making it seem like he only did it once. Oh, and
No,
by the way,
I just said it plenty of times. I understand. I understand Kobe's flaws, but I would still put him at the top 5 player. I understand all of his flaws, whether he pouting, whether he zoned out of a game, whether he cussing out his teammates, whether he threatening to want to get a trade. I understand all of those flaws in that man's game, in his person. But once he step on that court, he's gonna kill,
and
and
he's
he
gonna
got
kill his
that
own
killer
team.
mentality.
Right, he's gonna kill his own team. He's gonna kill his own team.
Well, the man's
By the
got
way,
5 champions. He won 2 without Shaq.
he got 2 without Shaq. That's fine.
And if the Lakers would not wasted his last 3 years trying to fucking rebuild, maybe he would have won one more. I feel like the Lakers robbed him out of the last 3 years of his career. They just told him to just chuck up the ball and fucking play with fucking Julius Randle,
And why? And
D'Angelo
why was
Russell,
that?
and those guys.
And why was that?
But because he was
Because
getting, like,
Kobe
he was
Bryant
getting
was
old,
getting
but
paid a stupid amount of money and refused to restructure his contract. He refused to restructure his contract. He was getting paid a stupid amount of money and they couldn't get anybody else. They couldn't. They couldn't
but
afford
everybody else on that team was on their rookie day. They could have done something.
No, they
Everyone on
couldn't
that
have.
team was,
No, they couldn't
was
have.
on they had a bunch of rookies.
Yeah, they had a bunch of rookies on their rookie contract, yes. But in order to go get a player that he wanted, you would have to virtually get rid of almost every single rookie for the money to balance out.
Hey, they
The
do
only
it all
way
the
you wouldn't have to do that, is if Kobe Bryant took a pay cut and he refused. He refused.
Why would you pick to get pay cut? I would do what you got to do to make
then don't give me this nonsense about how no. Don't give me this nonsense about how the Lakers wasted his final years. You can't have it both ways. They went to Kobe and said, Kobe, we want to give you a better team. We can't afford it. We're going to need to restructure your contract so that way, you can still get paid, but we have money to go get you something. And what did Kobe Bryant say? No. So don't give me this nonsense that they wasted his years when the man refused to get his contract. He refused to restructure it. I saw Magic do it.
It's other ways you can still. If I go to my star player, I don't want to restructure my contract. As a GM, it's still my job to still find pieces to put around him. Not just he don't want to restructure his contract.
Until you can't do it no more. Until your hands are tied.
No, if I'm a GM, I'm trying to do the best for my team.
Okay.
Telling me this next year you go to LeBron James, you like LeBron James after all you did for me, restructure your contract. LeBron James tell you no. I feel like I deserve this amount of money. You're gonna be like, all right.
And if that happens and they cannot give him a good team, LeBron is gonna have to wear that. You're gonna have to wear that. 110%. LeBron's gonna have to wear that.
But as a GM, if my star player don't want to restructure his contract, I still at least want to put something around him to say I did my job.
But if you can't afford it, there's nothing the GM can do. The only thing the GM can really do is go up to whoever's making the big money and say, look, bro, we're gonna have to restructure. And then it's up to the player whether or not they want to.
Oh, well,
all I'm saying is I don't want to hear no nonsense. All I'm saying is I don't want to hear no nonsense on how, poor Kobe, they wasted his final years. No, he had the option and he chose not to. By the way, you know how we killed Braun for what happened in 2011? Let me ask you $1 million question. Something that everyone loves to sweep under the rug. How about me about Kobe back in 2004? I'm asking for a friend.
You making it seem like I'm just I know I've been said Kobe got plenty of flaws.
No, but this goes to my problem. A lot of Kobe's flaws are swept under the rug. I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm just saying in general, a lot of his stuff. Because by the way, in those finals, Kobe Bryant, 22, 2 and 4. So matter of fact, I'm around everything up for him. I'm gonna be nice. I'm around everything up. 23 points per game, 3 rebounds per game. And I'm going to round it up, even though it's 4.4, I'm going to round it up 5 assists per game. That's what Kobe did. By the way, off 38% shooting. Off 38% shooting. In the finals, they lost in 5. I'm going to read you some stats. I want you to tell me who this individual is. By the way, all these numbers, I'm going to round down. So with Kobe, I rounded him up. So he got for this individual, I'm rounding them down. 17, 7, and 6 off 47% shooting. Again, all rounded down. And this individual lost in 6. Do you know who this individual is? This is the LeBron James meltdown from 2011. His exact stats, 17.8 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, 6.8 assists per game. Off 47%, 47.8% shooting. Question I've always posed. Why do we, and again, I'm one of the people who I believe LeBron being timid is what cost him that final. My question is, why do we slaughter LeBron for that? But when Kobe had that same issue, we don't talk about it. He averaged more on way less. He couldn't even shoot 40%. By the way, speaking of 2011, that same Mavs team swept the Lakers that Kobe was on. Throw that one more time. And if I'm not mistaken, they were defending champions.
You telling me everything that I know.
No. But again, I understand that. I'm just telling you why. Because my thing is, when Kobe was pouting on the court and refused to shoot, that's leadership. He blew the 3-1 lead, and it's not his fault.
Kobe's shooting numbers gonna be dope because he's a shooter. That's what he does. So
yeah, he's a shooter. That does that. I understand he's a shooter, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're a maker.
Different players. I know he don't make a lot of shots, but he does things that's just like the finals where he shot bad. He still had like 17 rebounds to lead the Lakers to the finals. These are two different players. If LeBron's jump shot not falling, he passing, he doing other things to get involved. So his shooting number is not going to take a hit like a Kobe Bryant. If Kobe Bryant missing jump shots, he's still going to take those same jump shots until he hit those. He's not looking to pass to a teammate because he wanted to live and die on his shoulders. These are two different players. So talking field goal numbers, you can't really compare those two field goal numbers because one is a passer. He's not looking to score, and the other one is a scorer who's going to live and die by his jump shot.
Which then goes to my point. If Kobe Bryant is so much of a scorer and that's what he's great at, LeBron averages more and has a higher field goal percentage from both the floor and from three. So you ask me how I can put him on top? That's why. The best thing Kobe brings to the floor is a scoring ability, and dare I say,
defense,
I can name like 5 people better than him.
And his heart.
Again, when it comes to anybody else, heart don't matter. It's like the little engine that could. I swear, I must.
You said words. It's a lot of people who got that dog mentality as well. I'm just defending Kobe. Why I think Kobe is a top 5 player. Like I didn't see Kobe Bryant do some things that amazed me. So I cannot sit here and say that man is not a top 10 player.
No, I'm not saying not top 10. Top 5 is ridiculous. To me, I don't think that's fair at all. I don't think it's fair at all. I think we're disrespecting because again. He's not better. Again, I'm gonna throw out some names. So you think is he better than Michael Jordan?
No.
Is he better than LeBron?
My honest opinion, yeah. Yes.
Is he better than Shaq?
Yes.
Crazy. Is he better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
No.
Okay. Is he better than Magic Johnson?
It's an argument right there.
Is he better than Larry Bird?
I would say yeah.
Is he better than Tim Duncan?
My opinion, yeah.
That's wild. Nope. I got nope. He's not better than Bron. He's not better than MJ. He's not better than Shaq. Not better than Kareem. He's not better than Magic. He's not better than Larry Bird. He's not better. I mean, maybe you can make an argument with Bill Russell because Bill Russell really. What up, Andre? How you feeling, my guy? Bill Russell wasn't really physically dominating. It's the rings. So if you want to say he's better than Bill Russell, okay, I won't argue with that. He's not better than Tim Duncan. I'll tell you that right now. Because listen, and here's another problem with Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant, in essence, kind of, I don't want to say stole, but he did. He stole all his moves from MJ, right? Like the whole, the tongue out, the leaning back, all that stuff, right? That's what he did, right? Here's kind of been the problem, right? He did that in hopes that one day the conversation will be who's better, Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. That's not the conversation he got. The conversation he really got is what bothered him. Who's better, him or Tim Duncan? That's been the conversation he always had. Because as many times as he wanted to say, and the only people who would say he was the best were Lakers fans. Outside the Lakers community, everyone was like, look, man, there's this dude in Texas that's a problem. There's this power forward in San Antonio who's a problem. And that was Tim Duncan. In no point of their career, and I will say this, and I say this, I don't think there was any point of their career when they were playing. I don't think there was any point where Kobe was better than Tim Duncan. I don't think there was any single point of their career running parallel that he was better. So that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, again, you know what I mean? And again, here's the problem. When it comes to it, if the best thing you can do is in essence be a poor man's version of the greatest of what a lot of people consider the greatest player of all time, if that's all you can really amount for, that's a problem. That's just me. To me, that's a big problem. Because now you're not going based on your merit. You're now going like if LeBron basically went and basically looked and said, "Hey, Magic, how do you shoot? That's how you shoot. Okay." If he shot like Magic, did the whole remember when Magic and I
But how
and
can
hold
you
on,
be mad at
go ahead.
how can you be mad at somebody who wanted to study the game like somebody who they idolize? A lot of people.
And it's easy. It's easy. The same way you get mad when back in the day when you would go to school and you would wear a shirt and they would be like, "Oh my God, school shirt!" And all of a sudden everyone wore it, and you'd be like, "Yo,
I didn't care about that shit. I didn't care about that shit.
Nope.
I did not care about that.
No, because here's my thing: make it on your own merit. If you want to look up to them and all that stuff, that's fine. But the instant you start trying to be a carbon copy of somebody, that's a problem. For instance, in tennis, Naomi Osaka looked up to Serena Williams. You do not see Naomi Osaka mimicking Serena Williams' pre-game routine. Her pre-serve routine things that she do. You do not see Naomi Osaka doing that. You don't see her copying her. You don't see her copying the way she swings the racket. You don't see her volley. You don't see her copying that stuff.
So what you're saying is Kobe Bryant copied everything from Michael Jordan.
Like I want to say about 90% of his game he took from MJ. And that's not even controversial. That's not even a hot take. Because he admitted it himself. And MJ said straight up he took everything I got.
So a lot of these players in the game is doing the same thing. That's
Like
what you grew up watching. What sport did you play growing up on Pride?
What sport?
Yeah.
Baseball, football, soccer, and basketball.
So you ain't never tried to emulate somebody growing up?
In game? No, not in game. Now, if you're talking about like be doing some shenanigans and back in the day we used to couple a piece of paper and try to throw it in the garbage can, yeah, I try to do that. I was the one goofball screaming at MJ. Everyone said Kobe. I was like Jordan. That was me. I swear to God, that was me.
How many times did you make it in the trash can yelling out LeBron?
MJ?
Oh, you yelled at MJ?
Yeah, I never yelled at Kobe. I was yelled at MJ. I ain't gonna hold you. I think
LeBron.
In my career, I'm probably like a 25% career from the field goal. But then again, at the time, I was dog shit at basketball. I ain't even gonna hold you. When I started saying that, but when in high school, when I stopped throwing the track, like stopped like really throwing it like that, that's when I came. I was I wasn't the best, but yeah, I was serviceable.
But I get your point about the mimicking. But I ain't see nothing wrong with it. I felt like that's who he idolized. That's who he wanted to mimic his game like. And it's to me it's hard to do that shit. Michael Jordan was the best player to at least try to do something similar to him, and I feel like that's tough to do.
You know, you want to know what else is harder? Being your own player. That's even harder. I'm just throwing that out there.
He was his own player, but he still has. You can still see Michael Jordan, and you can still see Kobe Bryant in his own style.
Bro, if the dude can't even celebrate on his own, and 90% of the celebrations is rip off of MJ, how are you gonna sit there and tell me there's
not all his celebrations was maybe?
Let me ask you a question.
Was the same, but not all his
Most
celebrations.
of them. The only one that I say wasn't the same, I think he beat the Celtics when he had the ball and he did this, and then he got the jersey and went like that, and he saw his white. That one was him, and that was from the gut, right? But this whole and come on, dog, if he doing that every other game, bro. Come on, fam. Listen, man, I'm not even his girl. Oh, what's her name? Vanessa. I'm not even Vanessa, right? But I can tell you how many taste buds this man got with how many times he had his tongue out, fam.
Like, everybody did. Everybody did the tongue out.
Like who? Who else?
Everybody did
Who
the
else?
tongue out.
Who else?
But everybody, you could see everybody. If you watch the game, they didn't do it a lot, but a lot of people went to the hole and did the tongue out. When we was growing up, we did the tongue out. That was like MJ's signature move. Everybody did it at least once in their whole life.
Name me one professional that did it. That's all I'm asking.
Players to this day, I done seen Paul George do it a few times. I done seen
When?
D-Book
When
do
was
it a few
this?
times. I done seen D-Book go to the hole with his tongue out a few times.
No. D-Book does this. He does that little snarl, that weird snarl thing that doesn't look right on him.
Hit to the YouTube.
Go ahead. Matter of fact, no. Because like. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually looking at this. Because I Googled it. Nothing. I'm on Google. I said players sticking their tongue out. And I'm about to do NBA players.
That's what I was gonna do. NBA.
I'm about to do NBA players right now. So NBA
players with tongue out.
Nope. Now I see players doing this. They're doing this like that. They're sticking it out to the side, yeah. I don't see no players kind of doing how MJ did it. Oh, and then there's Kobe. So, look, all I'm saying, bro, is if your entire gimmick is just copying somebody, to me, I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. And honestly, that's not even the only thing. Let's say everyone in the league did it. Let's say everybody in the league, sticks to it. Let's say everyone's out there is just basically copying MJ, right? Let's just say that, right? He still dropped 3-1 against Phoenix that nobody wants to talk about. The 2004 finals, he had his own meltdown nobody wants to talk about. And then in 2011, when people bashed LeBron for losing to the Mavs, that's the same Mavs team that not only swept Kobe, but then blew the doors off of, I think it was OKC. And OKC, who everyone goes, oh yeah, they were young. No, that's the same OKC that people thought would make it to the finals. And the next year, where were they? The finals. So all I'm saying is, for consistency's sake, when people say, oh yeah, he's top 3, I bring up these things. Like, imagine an all-time great player never shot 47% or better from the field. Never, ever, not one time. Not one time. If that's any other player, we're killing them. We're coming hard for their life. But since it's Kobe, we're not allowed to.
Wait, well, you said he never shot 40% from the field.
47. He never shot 40% or better from the field. The highest he was
46. His highest
46.
46.
Like 46 something.
He did that a few times.
Yeah. Never 40%. Never 47%. Ever. In his prime. There have been what? 1, 2, 3 years I'm looking at in his prime that he shot 43% from the floor. In his prime. All I'm saying is, for consistency's sake, I just don't think it's fair we put Kobe Bryant on this pedestal and act like there's no flaws. Because again, the flaws that we look at him, these flaws that we're looking at him, right? These are the same flaws that differentiate all-time great players. Like, these flaws is basically what keeps LeBron out of a lot of people's top 3. Like the people who don't have LeBron in the top 3, it's performances like Dallas that hurts him.
But I got LeBron in my top 3.
No, I'm just talking about in general. Like me, I have LeBron as the greatest basketball player of all time. And every time I say that, people always say, "Oh, well, you say that."
I have no problem with stats with
And,
LeBron.
and watching the game too. When listen, there have been times where Braun took over, bro. In Miami, when the first year they played against San Antonio, his third year, everyone's talking about how Ray Allen hit the shot. Here's my question:
Yeah,
does
I'm
that shot?
I'm a firm believer that he made Miami better. Without LeBron James, they would not want to learn
No,
nothing.
I'm not even gonna go that right. But here's my thing, because people say that Ray Allen saved his bacon, right? And here's my question: does that 3-point shot matter if LeBron James doesn't score? What was it? 16 straight points by himself?
Yeah, but people look at it like that was the game winning, that was the game time shot. So people not looking at what LeBron did before that. They're looking at what just happened right now, which was Ray Allen saving the game. But they don't look at what he did before that. Yes, so I agree with you with that. A lot of people look at the game different. LeBron James scored 16 straight, but Kyrie Irving hit a game winning shot. People not gonna talk about LeBron James 16 straight points. People look at the game different.
All I'm saying is, for consistency's sake, the same reason we kill LeBron, Kobe Bryant gets a pass. And that's why I genuinely feel like, especially, and a lot of people have been saying this after he passed away. That's what I'm saying. Since his passing, people kind of blew him up out of proportion.
I'm saying my final piece. I
But
killed both of them. But me personally, just watching the games since maybe 2005. I didn't really watch MJ because I was still a young kid. But watching the things Kobe did, that's what made me fall in love with Kobe Bryant. And I feel like that's the best player I've seen with my own eyes watching the game. That's why I have him in my top 3. Yes, he has flaws. Yes, it's a lot. He did a lot of things in his career, but that man wasn't scared of the moment. He showed up, and he's put up points for LeBron James. LeBron James is a fantastic basketball player. Yes, there's some things I don't like about him, but as far as on the court as a basketball player, he's a good player. But yes, I got my things I don't like about LeBron James. But he also in my top 3. And I don't be mad at people who got things to say about Kobe. Everybody got their own opinion. It things both players got things I don't like about LeBron, things I don't like about Kobe.
this is all I'm gonna say on it, and then after that we'll move on.
But my personal opinion, he's top 3.
And all of this is all I'm gonna say, and then we're gonna move on. I don't have Kobe in my top 5. I don't have him in my top 10. I already listed some players that I believe are better than him.
That's cool.
And my only problem is that when they ask me why, I bring these things up, and the conversation is not fun anymore. And then it all really comes down to the fact that I'm a Celtics fan, and that's why I hate Kobe.
I'm not mad. I'm just you gave me a reason. As long as you respect his game, and you're not saying
I'm not saying he's a scrub.
He's not a top. He's not in the top 10. Then that's absurd.
No. He's not a scrub.
As long as you say he's in the top 10, I'm cool with that. If you would have said top 15 player, then I probably would have locked out this damn podcast. But I can understand your top 10 conversation because those are a lot of good players. But me personally, watching him, that's the best player I've seen. Like watching live.
No, I feel you. And like I said, my only thing is a lot of people, when you talk about Kobe, they don't like it when you start talking about the nitty gritty stuff. They don't like it. They don't talk about, you know what I mean? Like when he demanded a trade and then took it back when they got him Powell. They don't like talking about that.
I wish he would have came to Chicago.
You know? So that's where he wanted to go. And why did he want to go to Chicago?
Because he wanted to do something that
he wanted to be like
did.
Mike. Too much. So anyway,
man, it's tough, man. A lot of people don't want to come to Chicago just because of MJ, and he wanted to come.
Me personally, I don't think Chicago's that hard to play in. It only really gets hard when they're like right now. It's gonna be hard because now people are kind of low key trying to be like, oh my god, this is the best chance we've had since the MJ era. When they start saying that, That's gonna be pressure.
Yeah, but it's hard because we haven't won nothing since MJ. That's like L.A., Boston, Chicago. It's to me
Kind of
the
like when
top.
Braun went over there. Kind of like when Braun first went to LA. It's been a minute since
Yeah,
they won. You know what I mean? Like he
those
kind of
three
in
are the
letdown
top
mode. Like,
three toughest franchise after playing in Boston, L.A., and Chicago. Because LA, you need to bring a championship home. It's the same with Boston
or you're a bust.
and Chicago is like you playing after Michael Jordan. He the last person who won us a championship. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're gonna move on. Rio, I see the comment. I'm gonna put it up in a minute. Matthew Stafford. The Rams took a L, even though the game was relatively close in terms of score. It was not close. And what I mean by that is, bro, I'm be honest with you. I was watching the game, and it almost, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. It looked bad. Like they lost. The Packers beat them 36-28, but it literally felt like it was 36-4. Like swear to God. And then Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna have fun with this one. I'm genuinely curious on how you feel about Lamar Jackson because look, I'll be honest, I don't have faith in him. I really don't. I'm chilling. I'm good. I don't, not to say that he's trash, but I'm not a massive fan of his. I just think sometimes, when things happen, he kind of just, eh. Um, $1 million question for you. And by the way, Rio, we're gonna touch on your comment in a minute. Right now, how do you feel in terms of confidence level for both Matthew Stafford and Lamar Jackson?
well, Matthew Stafford sometimes he forget he playing in L.A. Sometimes he think he playing in Detroit. But if I had to say more confidence, the Rams dropped three straight.
Mm-hmm.
I still think I got confidence in Matthew Stafford.
You still got confidence in Matthew Stafford? All right, but so
Yeah.
since you said that, let me bring up the comment. Rio said Stafford is showing who he truly is when he plays against tough teams. Do you think that this comment is onto something, or do you think we're being a little too hard on Matthew Stafford?
I think the comment is spot on. Because looking at this season, they lost to the Green Bay. That's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee is a good team, and the Cardinals a good team. The only good wins they got this year is probably the Colts and the Buccaneers.
Right.
I would give them the Colts and the Buccaneers. That's the only legit two good teams, and they barely beat the Colts by 3 points.
Yes, yeah. It was a
So
very tough game.
yeah,
I'm gonna run by their season, how they've been so far. So week one, they beat the Bears. Week two, like you said, was the Colts, and 27-24 was by 3. Then the week after that, they beat the Buccaneers by
that's
10.
the best
Um,
game of the season.
right. And then they lost to the Rams, beat Seattle, beat the Giants, beat the Lions, beat the Texans, lost to the Titans, and if I'm not mistaken, they lost to the Texans without um Derrick Henry. I believe Derrick Henry was injured
Yeah,
during
yeah.
that game.
I think that's when
So
AP had just got signed.
yes, yeah, I think that's the game. AP had what? Like he had a touchdown, I think.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, AP's back!" And I'm like,
yeah.
"Bro, he only had
Then
21 yards, 10 carries,
Sponge,
21
then
yards. He not back."
SpongeBob 2 weeks later he's released.
Yeah, bro, he couldn't even last a month. And then after that loss to the Titans, they lost to the Niners, um, 31-10, and then lost to the Packers. So I mean, when it comes to Matthew Stafford, I will say this: do I trust him? Yes, still a little bit, but I am nervous.
Yeah,
I'm very
I trust
nervous.
him because he can make plays. You can't. He don't have a playoff experience because he was in Detroit, but
Right.
he's a veteran quarterback who understands the game. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
them meeting the right opponent, like the playoff is all about matchup. They go against a tough team that can stop the pass game, and because they
Yeah,
ain't running the ball.
they're a West Coast version of the Bills,
Yeah,
where they live and die by the pass, and there's no dimension to them, which is a
and
problem. The
and
last
that
three games, real quick before I throw it back to you, the last three games, Matthew Stafford has thrown a pick six.
mhm,
So against the Titans, he threw a pick six. Against San Francisco, a pick six. And the Packers, he threw a pick six. Um, which, eh, I'm not liking that. That is very alarming.
yeah,
That does go to show in every single loss, he's thrown an interception. In every single when they lost to Arizona, he threw an interception. When they lost to Tennessee, he threw two interceptions. When he lost to San Francisco, two more interceptions. And then when he lost to Green Bay, that's one interception. So that's what? Two, four, five. So that's six interceptions in the losses alone. For
hmm
context, outside of those losses, let me count it up. That's a W, none, none, one, two. So for context, in his wins, he only has three interceptions. I'm talking about all his wins, like all the other wins in the set in the what was it, seven wins that they have?
hmm
In the seven wins that they have, he has um he only has three interceptions. You know, like in the losses, he has more interceptions than he has losses.
and out of losses, let's get some pretty good.
Outside of the Niners, pretty good teams. Pretty good teams.
And that's sitting
Rio.
at number 5 in the
Yeah,
playoff.
no, I low-key think they're screwed. Rio said, I don't think Lamar can take the Ravens on a run. What's the okay? So Rio with a great question. What's the Rams' main issues in your opinion with the no run game? They have all
Yeah,
the talent, and I'm gonna tell you what.
the run game. To me that's the main
Yeah,
issue. The
and
run
I'm
game.
gonna tell you why the run game is a problem. I'm gonna tell you why it's really bad. When you trade, right? When you traded Jared Goff, you basically said the problem was Jared Goff. If we get any other quarterback, we're winning the Super Bowl. That's basically what you came out and said, right? They get Matthew Stafford. Imagine the look it would be if you have Matthew Stafford handing the ball off 15, 20 times. See what I'm saying?
And they
Like,
got and Henderson it's a
he's not bad.
yeah.
He's not garbage. He's a solid. And listen, for what they run, it works.
And
He doesn't
another
have to be
thing
great.
I feel like with the Rams, I feel like they got all this hype in LA. Sometimes they look down to their opponents, and sometimes it come back and bite them in the ass.
Mm-hmm. That's up with the Niners. They were looking down on the Niners and thought it
Yeah,
was going to be king. He should have two interceptions against Green Bay, Stokes, and it was a wide open one. It was a wide open one. Like how he dropped that out, the world will never know.
like
But that one was wide open.
you can't put the whole game on your quarterback.
Yeah, like look, I mean, and on top of that, and look, so Matthew Stafford, a lot of people were raving about this, how Aaron Rodgers is, look, he's a bad man. Aaron Rodgers is went 28 to 45, 307 with two touchdowns, right? Matthew Stafford had that one interception, the pick six. Outside of that, 21 to 38, 302 yards with three touchdowns. So it's like, for me, what I've been noticing the last couple games, um, I've noticed this a lot. The problem is that not that their defense is low key selling.
Who
We
the
expected,
Rams?
yes, the Rams defense is selling like a motherfucker right now. Bad.
All that hype and like they got Von Miller. They feeling themselves.
And it's horrible because look, in terms of their overall rank for their defense, their overall rank, I'm talking about like if you put them in a ranking system, they are ranked 17th. They are above. Like these are the three teams they're directly above. The Washington football team, who everyone says took a massive step off, and they just lost Chase Young with a torn ACL. The Pittsburgh Steelers, whose defense has been overrated all year. I've been screaming that.
I kind of like they
I'm not a fan of their defense. I don't think so because on crucial plays they sell you like a motherfucker. And then they're also above the Philadelphia Eagles. They're right under.
The Eagles hurt my soul.
Yep, right under them, or right above them, is the Chicago Bears, the Carolina Panthers, and the New York Giants. This is a team that defensively should not be. They should be a top 5 defense. They should be where Cincinnati is, because Cincinnati is 6th right now. That's where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
They should be where Seattle is, because Seattle statistically is a top 5 defense, statistically. But we all know they're not really a top 5 defense. We all know that they're dog shit. The problem is defensively, in terms of playing, they're dog shit, and statistically, they're dog shit. By the way, Rio, when it comes to the Eagles game, if I'm Nick Stefanski, I'm taking Jalen Rager, and I'm bringing him to the ball machine, the one where it spins and they put the ball in the middle and they kind of shoot it. I'm zooming as fast as he can go, and I'm putting his hands dead in front of it, and he owes me a full field suicide. I don't know if anyone ever did a full field suicide. We used to do this all the time.
On the football field?
Yes. So a full field suicide.
Ooh, I was a ball player of basketball, so I know about on the court suicide.
A full field suicide. You would start, you would run to the 20-yard line,
come back.
50-yard line, back. Opposing 20-yard line, back. Then you go end zone to end zone. That's one.
Ooh.
That's one. We used to do that all the time because like when we would get mad, we would be like, fuck this shit. And the coach would be like, what you say? Full field suicide. And all of us would be doing it. And
it'd be funny. You was you that one guy who always people was mad that you said something like, man, you done made us do suicide.
Yeah, bro. Look, Adam schooled Ramsey once again. I've been telling people, look, Devontae Adams, he's not a problem. No, he's a solution.
But before we move on to that, I want to say people should not give Hurts all the disrespect that he got yesterday.
Say it one more time.
He should, because Lamar Jackson had a similar game and they barely won, and he getting praised for the dub.
I'm gonna put it to you this way.
I think Jalen Hurts the future of Philly.
Me too. Look, people. I was talking to somebody earlier today.
They got a nice Miles Sanders.
By the way, Deebo Samuel. Real quick, Deebo Samuel. He has a groin injury. He's gonna miss about 1 or 2 weeks. And linebacker Fred Warner, who I believe got paid that big money. He's got a hamstring injury. He's also out this week.
Deebo a beast.
But yeah, no, I don't.
Shout out to Deebo. That man's a beast.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't. I mean personally, I like Jalen Hurts. I like him a lot. I don't think it's fair to solely blame him.
Yeah.
I really don't think that's fair at all. I don't think so. I have people talking about their diehard Philly fans talking about, oh yeah, we're not seeing improvement from the kid. He's in his second year.
If I was a Philly fan, shit, I'd be all in. I'd be happy.
I mean, what choice do you have? What, you want to go in the draft and go get somebody? And I've said it before. And by the way, real quick, Rio, after all the wrong Hurts did, he still put the Eagles in a position to win in Rager choke. He did. That last throw, Rager could have caught, and if he caught it, that's a touchdown. That's a tie game. Now we're having a whole separate conversation.
They put them at 6-6. They'd be at 6-6.
They'd be at 6-6, and they still have the opportunity to at least play and hunt for the division. So I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, get out of here. I'm like, look, again, a couple of the passes that Jalen did was, I won't disagree, was very questionable. He threw a couple passes in double coverage that I don't think he should have.
Yeah, but it's a young QB. He go.
That's my point. I'm looking at it like, bro, this is his second year.
Like
This is second
I
year.
watched the guy. I see Justin do a lot. I'm like, he's still a rookie. Next year, I just give him time.
Yeah, it's like he's a second year kid, and they go, oh well, look how this kid is what's it called Joe Burrow. First of all, Joe Burrow he has a way better offense. Let's call it what it is. He's got a way better offense. Like T Higgins is better than any receiver they got, and it's not even close, right? So my whole thing is, don't sit here and slaughter the kid. If you want to criticize him, fine. There were a couple passes he made that were very questionable.
But at the end of the day, we talking about Philly fans. They are, like you
Yeah, man.
said,
They were like, oh, why can't he be like Joe Burrow? I'm like, that's the mistake I'm making. Because not every guy is going to be Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, who just comes out of the scene and in a year or two, all of a sudden is that guy.
Yeah.
No, a lot of times it takes time to find that guy. It takes time.
and they got the guy.
Yeah, bro.
They gonna run out Ben Simmons and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, bro. Rio commented, said, did you see the post game where Rager said it was just 2 drops? He said that with a straight face. Like,
didn't they take him over Justin Jefferson?
Hold on. Somebody said that. Yes. We gotta give Rager some heat. What the fuck was Philly thinking getting Rager over Justin Jefferson?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Rio with a comment. But yes, they took Rager over Justin Jefferson. Let that sink in. Let that sink in one time. One time right quick. Let that sink in. They took Jalen Rager over Justin Fields. I mean, and again, I don't think at all. I don't think again, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the fact that I love this kid a lot. But second year in, he's showing you improvement.
I love Jalen Hurts too. I'm a Bears fan.
Like my thing is, bro, like, why are we slaughtering the kid?
Kind of remind me of a McNabb too, a little bit.
Yes, it's because of the way he plays. It's the way he plays and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just me, man. I don't like the people kind of just trying to go at him. Like, again, if you want to go in for certain plays that he messed up on, 110%. You can criticize, like, for instance, I think one of the picks is doing double coverage. If you want to kill him for that, I'm not going to defend him because that was very bad throw. That was very questionable. But again, he still had them in position. And that last throw, if Jalen Rager doesn't sell, that's a touchdown. And it's 13-13. You set your field goal unit out. Potentially could be 14-13. They get the win, and we're having a completely different conversation.
Sitting at 6-6 in the playoff hunt. After starting, they started with like 1-3 or something.
They started rough.
Yeah,
they started rough, and they got it together. And so I don't like the people who are just saying, "Oh, we gotta get rid of him." He's not.
Like I said, like a couple shows back, like let's give him quarterback 3 years to see what you got. Don't be just so ready to just give up on these quarterbacks.
And here's another thing. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give up on him." And here's the question I pose to all the Eagles fans that want Jalen Hurts out: where are you gonna go? Who are you gonna get?
They gonna mess around, have Kevin Hart, they starting quarterback.
Like, come on, bro. Rio said, did y'all see what Rodgers did to Ramsey? No, I did not see it. I think I missed it. I saw what Devontae Adams said about Odell.
What's your thoughts on Rams? Do you think he's still the best corner in the league?
Me? Yeah, I think so. I think the thing is, for me personally, I think the reason why his stats kind of dipped was just the fact that he's not getting targeted as much. You know, the only quarterbacks that are brave enough to really challenge him, if we're gonna be honest, is Aaron Rodgers of the world or a Tom Brady of the like those types of quarterbacks. But Patrick Mahomes don't want the smoke. Kirk Cousins don't want the smoke. Russell Wilson don't want the smoke. Kyler Murray maybe because he's got D-Hop. He'll be nervous. Even before they were teammates, Matthew Stafford sure as hell ain't want to smoke. You know what I mean? So I just think, to me personally, I think there's only really 2 quarterbacks in the league who will go at Jalen Ramsey, and it's Aaron Rodgers
Tom Brady.
and Tom Brady. I think those are the only two quarterbacks that will go at him, no matter who they have. I think they'll go at him. Outside of that, again, maybe Kyler because he's got D-Hop. But even then, that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not 100% percent on that. I did see what Devontae Adams said. I guess OBJ reached out and was like, bro, we got to switch jerseys.
Oh, yeah, jerseys, yeah.
And he was like, nah, bro, go get Cooper Kupp because that's what he wanted to be. I was like, what did he say? I was like, whoa. I was like, yo, D-Hop, go play corner for a series or two, my guy. Go get a good look to the chops. But nah, man, for all the people, real quick, for all the people who are the Philly fans who want Justin Fields gone.
Just Jalen Hurts.
Or Jalen Hurts. What did I say? Like, for who want Jalen Hurts gone, here's my question. Who y'all getting to replace him?
I was just looking up the quarterbacks coming out of the draft, and I really.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. Offense, like in terms of quarterbacks, this draft is dog shit.
Yeah,
that's just the easiest way I can say.
I think the mock draft had the quarterback being taken at like 21st. I'm like, damn, no,
bro. Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. But now they fixed it. Last week, there were mock drafts that had Spencer Rattler being taken in the first round. For context, Mike. For context, he got benched.
Yeah.
He played so awful. He got benched, and today he just entered the transfer portal. Yeah. A guy who got benched because it's not because he looked bad or he got injured. No. He looked like shit. Got benched. And then entered the transfer, and he's projected to still be a first-round pick. Last week he was projected still to be a first-round pick. And I say this, I think there's only three teams and three teams that are going to reach this year for a quarterback. It's the Houston Texans and Detroit Lions because they're both dog shit. Mm-hmm. And the third team, the Denver Broncos. Nope, not the Giants. I don't even think the Giants will reach. I don't think so. I think the Giants will try to draft and get other things to fill their other holes. But the reason I say the Broncos is because John Elway always has done this. Just does stupid drafts. If you don't believe me, he wanted to play Brock Osweiler stupid money.
But you don't think they're gonna go after Aaron Rodgers? That's I don't know. Last year they passed on Justin Fields. They thought they were gonna get Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe.
But I know the Texans and the Lions for sure are gonna reach for a quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, and Rio with the question, what's going on with Rattler? So, he was the preseason Heisman favorite, got benched earlier this season. And today he announced that he's entering the transfer portal. For those, for those who don't know, what that means is he's basically, it's almost as if you're getting traded, so to speak.
Yeah. To a different college.
Right. He's going to end up going to another college. Whether or not, I don't know where he's going to go because he didn't say anything. This is exactly what he put on his thing, and I have it up here. I'm going to read it. And he tweeted this out. So this is exactly coming from Spencer Rattler's account. Quote, Sooner Nation, thank you for allowing me to be a student athlete at this prestigious institution. Thank you to every teammate and coach these last 3 seasons. We won several games together and made memories that I will cherish forever. Special thanks to my family and friends for your support. Thank God for the game of football. It's the ultimate team sport and brings people and communities together unlike anything else. At this time, I would like to announce that I have decided to enter the transfer portal to continue my academic and athletic career. Thank you again, Oklahoma. I will miss you. Signed, Spencer Rattler. And then at the bottom of the picture it says, "Thank you, Oklahoma." If y'all wanna read that whole thing, go on his Twitter at Spencer Rattler, and that's where he kind of put it up. So let's see what happens. A lot of people think he's gonna go to the Trojans and he's gonna follow Lincoln Riley. It's gonna be very interesting. Mike, did you see any of the games, the college games this weekend?
It's like I've been trying to get into college, but it's like it's hard to watch college game for the fact that I don't have a favorite college team to watch.
I'll be honest with you. I'm the same way. I don't have a college team. I don't have a college team.
Yeah,
So
but
if
like
for me,
I wanna get into college, but like I like to be a diehard. I like to watch
I
a
feel you.
certain
I just look
certain
at whatever. I look at whatever.
yeah,
Thoughts
and I
on
don't want to be a
Georgia?
bandwagon and just hop on
Yeah,
any.
yeah, I feel you. So Rio, in terms of to answer your question, what are your thoughts on Georgia, Bama? That's going to be interesting. And the reason I think it's going to be interesting is I genuinely believe that because tomorrow the college rankings come out. Um, I genuinely believe that they're going to have Alabama at 2 so they can hype this game up as 1 versus 2. I genuinely believe that. I think that's where we're going to be. Um, I believe Georgia will win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like that. I think it's going to be relatively contested. Right now, the AP top 25 has Bama at 4. Um, my prediction, and I talked about it earlier this morning. What I think is going to happen, I think they're going to put Alabama at 2, so that way, if Georgia beats them, or better said, when Georgia beats them, they have room to drop them down to 2 or to 4. That's how I think it's going to happen. It's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be a game that Mike, you say you want to be a diehard or whatever. I'm telling you right now, bro. This is the game that if you hate Georgia and you hate
Mhm.
Alabama, you're still gonna watch
Yeah,
because these two teams are two of the best teams in all of college football, and it's
I,
not even
I tuned
close.
into the Michigan game a little bit. I saw a couple of first for the Michigan game.
Yo, that Michigan game was wild, son.
Yeah,
It was. I ain't even gonna hold you. I almost did a watch along, um, to the Michigan game, almost, and
but
I
ne-
did, and
but,
I
but
regret it.
next season I'm gonna try to watch. I know it come on Saturday. I'm trying to free up my schedule for Saturdays and watch more college games.
And there are plenty of guys who just there are plenty of stations you can just listen to on the radio. So let's say you're working or something like that, and you can't watch it. You can just listen to the radio. Like usually, if I'm out on Sundays and I'm doing stuff or whatever, I usually listen to through like the radio or something because
Yeah,
like it's nice to go. But Rio, to answer your question, it's gonna be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I've said this before. I've been consistent with this. I think Georgia is the best college program, top to bottom, offensively and defensively. Um, and we did a thing. I do believe Alabama. I think there's two teams that will give Georgia a legit run for their money. One is Alabama, and two is Cincinnati. I think those two teams will give Georgia a run for their money. I like Michigan, but the AP has them at 2. I don't understand it. Well, maybe because of the storyline or whatever, but it's going to be very interesting. But moving on, Tom Thibodeau sent Kemba home, pulled the Houston Rockets, said, go home, don't come back. Pulled them completely out of the rotation. So this dude is going to get 0 minutes. Count it. 0. He'll get 0 minutes. Mike, let me ask you a question. Where do you think Kemba goes from here?
my honest opinion, I think he might get released.
Mm.
I mean, from the beginning since he got signed, I knew this move was not gonna fail. This move was gonna fail because Thibodeau loved defense, and we all know Kemba don't play
Mm-mm.
defense. They already had a nice 1-2 punch and quickly and D Rose.
Yep.
But if Kemba wants to stay in the league, the one person he needs to talk to is on his team, and that guy is Derrick Rose.
Mm.
Go to Derrick Rose and ask him like, what you do to continue your career in this league? Because Derrick Rose had the knee injuries like Kemba. He went from a star player to a 6-man role, so that's the perfect guy to talk to, to get in his ear.
Yeah,
But as far as Kemba, I think Kemba in New York, that's a done deal.
100%.
Because at least with Derrick Rose, Tibbs love Rose. Tibbs don't love Kemba.
No, no. He don't really care for Kemba.
Yeah.
Real quick, Kemba's stat line this year: 11 points. Matter of fact, I'm around everything up. I'm being a nice boy. 12, 3 and 3. It's 11.7 points, 2.6 rebounds, 3.1 assists, off 42.9% shooting from the floor. The only bright spot in his game, literally the only bright spot, is the 3-point field goal percentage, which is at 41.3. That is literally the only, and he's attempting 5. He's attempting about 5 per game. So he's going about 2 for 5. Which I don't mind it. Going 41% from 3. Pretty nice. I don't mind it whatsoever. He's getting replaced by Alec Burks, who is giving them 10 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, all 42% shooting. Thing is, he's more of a cog, right? Where he'll play better defense, and he won't kind of, he won't be overshooting the ball, In terms of Kemba Walker, I like Kemba. I really do. I've heard nothing but great things about Kemba as a person. Not a single soul has ever said Kemba Walker is a dickhead or anything like that. The problem with Kemba Walker, no one has ever had the conversation with him yet. He might not be that guy anymore. No one has had the conversation with him. When he came to Boston, we didn't give him a role. Came to New York, they didn't give him a role. So it's like he doesn't really know what he's doing. Almost like Russell Westbrook, almost. Where like you have him out there and he's kind of just like doesn't know really what to do because there's no role. They never had the conversation where they say, look, this is what you got to do. This is what we expect from you. And that's it. Like, this isn't that deal. Like, they haven't told him anything. They don't. So he's kind of just really lost. And on top of that, being a defensive liability, if you're a defensive liability on any Tom Thibodeau team, and he has a better option, unless you're giving him an efficient 20 per game, he's gonna bench you.
Yeah, because I remember one year we had Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver's a knockdown shooter. Tibbs said, man, you ain't playing defense, I ain't playing you.
And at the time, he was one of the best shooters. Not just in the team, but in the league. So it's like, so that shows you, like, he's like, bro, if you're not going to give me defense, I ain't with it. I'm not. And I get it, especially because, again, this is Tom Thibodeau. This is a guy who's made, a guy who is who he is. So it's not like he's just a rookie trying to demand him. Nah, Tom Thibodeau respected. He's respected. So it just sucks for Kemba. I really do feel bad. But at the end of the day, what do you expect from a guy who they're not telling him his role? They're not saying, Kemba, this is what we need from you. They're not telling him that. You know what I mean?
Knew what he was getting himself into. You don't come off a bad season with the Celtics and then knowing you not the guy you once was and go home. You don't do that. You go somewhere else where you can at least get a chance to you don't have no pressure on you like you got in New York. You home, so it's a lot of pressure. You go somewhere else. You don't go home.
Nah, I feel you. I will say this when it comes to Kemba. I think he can still play. He can at this point though. I will say this. He's gonna have to be a 3-point shooter. He's got a 2-year deal. Looking at his contract right now. 2-year deal.
I got a 2-year deal.
Yeah, it's a 2-year deal. 2 years, 17.8 mil, which is, I believe, fully guaranteed.
I was gonna say some weird, like what if some weird shit they release him, he end up on the Lakers?
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised. Because I think Kemba Walker could fit. Because again, he's not ball dominant. The thing is, though, if you bring him, whatever team brings him in, you're gonna have to have a conversation with Kemba Walker and say, "This is the role we have for you. Do you want it?" If you don't give him that, if you don't have that conversation with him, you're not going nowhere with him. You need to sit down and have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
He's right now he's 31. He's about to be 32. This year he's making 8.7 million. Next year 9.1. Um, then after that he's gone. There is a trade restriction on him, which is why they're not trading him now. Um, he cannot be traded until December 15th.
Mm.
So he's they have a couple weeks where I wouldn't be surprised if during practice they try to run him out there again, see what happens, and if nothing happens, if nothing works out, thank you, Kemba. We appreciate your service, but we're gonna go a different route.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't be mad about that.
Especially
Okay,
when they got quickly. I really like quickly, and I think
right.
quickly can
But and
do.
and and that's that right there to me is the problem. They have plenty of options.
Yeah.
They got plenty. So it's not like they're in this situation where they're kind of desperate and they got to make Kemba Walker work. Like they have, not only do they have, I had to face my mic, but not only do they have options, they have young options that they can be comfortable with. So there's really no pressure for the Knicks to force Kemba Walker to fit.
Yeah.
Because like the same thing I say in LA with Russ, watching a Knicks game, it's painful to watch when Kemba Walker's out there. Because he just looks weird. He just looks uncomfortable. Like he doesn't really know what to do. And like I said, I genuinely believe a lot of this really comes down to the fact that they never sat down with him and said, this is your role and this is what we expect you to do. I don't think they ever had that conversation. I don't think so. I think when they brought him in, the team was like, oh, he'll know. He's smart enough to understand.
Yeah.
And Kemba Walker was like, this is a playoff team and they want me. I got to be at least one of the missing pieces. That's what I think happened. So we'll see what happens with him. But speaking of LA, Russell Westbrook, he had a couple games where he's playing great, man. See, Russ is amazing. They're still losing. Still losing. Nobody wants to talk about it. They're 11-11, which everyone is like, oh my god, they're 11-11. That's so great. Which I genuinely believe. If you're proud about being 11-11, especially a team that is whose expectations is finals or bust, you know, you're fucked. If we're gonna be honest, I should probably stop cursing, but you know what? Fuck it, you're fucked. Fucked. But they're 11-11. Obviously they got a whole bunch of problems. In their last five. So in their last five, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this lost to the Celtics. They beat the Pistons, lost to the Knicks, beat the Pacers, lost to the Kings, beat the Pistons. So they're going one on, one off, one off, one on, one off, etc. Mike, do you think they should consider having Russell Westbrook come off the bench?
They should consider it, but no, it's the Lakers, and I feel like once Westbrook goes to that bench, that's when that team just gonna be even more worse. I don't think Russ ego right now are ready for a bench role. So
I'm there with you. 110%. I genuinely believe if Russell Westbrook goes to the bench, it's going to be the beginning of the end. To the point where you're going to have to trade him.
yeah,
You're going to have to. I genuinely believe that. Brought in, they told him you're going to be that guy. You're going to lead us to the promised land. For some reason, didn't work. It's not working. For whatever reason, it's not working.
if Westbrook and couldn't win with Kevin Durant, like Harden, like
I've been saying that for a while now. If you can't make it work with them, what do you expect him to do with Braun? Because listen, because at the time, KD was just a scorer.
Yeah.
So it was like you only had to give him the ball here and there. Just so you had to give him the ball just enough to please him. And you couldn't do that. Rio with the comment said Russ is the problem. I believe he is. 100%. And if you get anybody else, I said this morning. People laughed at me when I said it because they thought I was joking. I would rather have an empty roster spot than Russ right now on the Lakers. Look, the triple doubles are adorable. They really are. But again, while he's doing it, guess what? They're playing 500 ball. Yeah, like you, bro. It's been like let's say the last 6 games, right? The last, I believe it's the last 6 games that people have been riding high. Oh my God, Russ was efficient. Russ is great. This, that, and third. I'm gonna say it again. They got smacked by my Celtics, beat the Pistons, lost to the Knicks, beat the Pacers, then they got completely demoralized by the Kings, and I think it was what, triple overtime.
3.
It was triple overtime.
I think it was 3.
Right? So you got demoralized by the Kings, and then y'all just beat the Pistons. While he's doing all this triple double, they're playing 500 ball. Come on, guys. Let's put this in context, bro. Let's put this in context. Don't, if you're telling me about a guy's stats, I'm gonna say, all right, bet how they play. Like, how's the team? Oh, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does.
I was on Twitter and somebody said that they playing this way because they're trying to get Frank Vogel fired.
But to me, that's stupid. That's stupid. And you want to know why I genuinely believe it's stupid? Do you want to know why I genuinely believe that it's that's stupid? At any point, LeBron James can go up and say, "Genie, I want him gone," and guess what? Gone. So if not even forget LeBron, AD can go up there and say, "I want him gone," and they'll make him gone. So it's like I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't get this nonsense that supposedly they want to get him fired. I've never understood that. I don't think that's true. Because again, if it was true, one of the stars could easily go up and just be like, get him out.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Rio with the comment, thoughts on Boogie signing with Milwaukee. I don't know if you heard about this. It's a 1-year deal. I don't mind it. I don't mind it whatsoever. Another reason, but
he fit what they got going. He can be like what Brook Lopez is to them, a big who can still defend and can step out, hit the 3 occasionally, and you can still space the floor out for Giannis to go, so he can still do his thing in the paint. You know?
Right, and that's the thing again, because I saw a couple people kind of mad.
Just another version of PJ Tucker.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the problem. People, they were like, "Oh my God, why would you get him in here? That's stupid. What are you doing? Blah blah blah." And my thing is, bro, time out. Let's relax. Put it in context. He's probably feeling that whole PJ Tucker role.
Yeah.
Like that's really all he's gonna do. He's gonna hold it down defensively, interior and interior defense, give an occasional shot, and it is what it is.
And he played some good basketball with
the Clippers. Yeah, bro. There were a couple plays where they just ran for him, and he kind of just did whatever and scored a bucket. Real with another comment. Go ahead.
I think before we get to real comment, I think he still got some basketball left in the tank. I still like the Cousins.
Oh yeah, no, I'm there with you. I don't think he got some. I think he got plenty. Now we won't see All-Star Boogie, but 6-man Boogie. I think 6-man Boogie is gonna be a thing.
10 and 5.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Real with the question. Thoughts on Perk saying Giannis could be the most dominant player ever? I don't see it. I don't see it yet. I personally don't see it yet.
I see it.
I don't.
If he could just stay true to him like a big, get him working on his post game, mid range. Come on, nobody can really stop Giannis when he in the paint. Like, so he can still be. I feel like he could be dominant. In the inside, on the outside, no. But as an inside, a post player, yes, he can be dominant. He's only 26 years old, and a lot of people in the league cannot stop him already.
Yeah.
I'm like, get him. I'll go to like who can I say? Hakeem. Let me get some of your post moves. Teach me something. What can I do? What can I do here? Come back next year. Get you a post up. Come on, man.
Right, because that's my thing. If for me personally, I the only reason why I personally don't put him in there is just the fact that like if you put him in the half court set, he struggled. He still struggled. Like he does the whole thing of when he drives, but
Yeah,
there's
I hate when he do that too many times. 'Cause you can key in on that. I just feel like you can't rely on that. You got to get
and
you a
that
post game.
yes,
But I'm
yes.
saying just off him being so young still and still got room to grow. I can see him being the most dominant. But the stuff he's doing now, he can't keep
And again,
relying on that.
he got the potential.
Yeah,
He could be. I'm just not gonna really say anything only because I'm not going to because at the end of the day, the stuff that he needs to be truly dominant, that's the stuff he's been needing to work on for a while. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I just hope he don't. Cause I feel like right now he just relying on his athleticism, speed, then trying to bully his way to the whole. Which you should work on your post game right now, because you'll be unstoppable. Just go ahead, get you a post game and a mid range, call it a day.
facts, and that's it. That's all you got to do. If you do that, I think he'll be pretty solid.
Yeah.
I really do. But to go back to the Boogie Cousins signing, I saw a lot of people talking about, oh my god, no, this is a dumb signing. I don't think so. Because guess what? You got 6 man fucking Boogie Cousins. Like what? Like what? Like Bobby
You got
Portis, I like
you got
him.
Alpha Man Boogie Cousins and Boogie Cousins and Bobby Porter together off the bench.
And you know what that does though? You know what that does? That takes off an immense amount of pressure off Giannis because now when you put Bobby Portis in, you can take Giannis off. So now instead of having Giannis play a lot of minutes, you can now kind of be like, all right, Giannis, relax, chill out. We got 2 big men we could throw in
Yeah.
there. If Giannis gets in foul trouble, you know,
Or
you got Boogie Cousins.
you can play Giannis at the three and Holiday at the no, Holiday at the one, Middleton at the two.
That's what I'm saying. If you really want to run a massive lineup, you can put Drew at the one. You could put Middleton at the two, Giannis at the three, Portis at the four, and Boogie at the five. That massive lineup.
Yeah.
Like I think that'll be crazy.
That's a good pick. I wanted my Bulls to go grab him, but
Yeah, I thought the Bulls would. I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought they would. When the Bucks got him, it surprised me, but I understood. Boogie isn't what he used to be, but he'll make a difference due to the Bucks needing a new center. 110%.
because Brooke Lopez not scaring nobody. Boogie Cousin, maybe you can. He's scaring a couple people, but
And here's the thing, and here's the thing about Boogie. You don't need him to be how he was.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, and I know Real's not saying this. He's not saying he needs to be. He's just making the point. But a lot of people kind of had this thought where, like, oh man, if Boogie can't be what he was, is he really going to be good? And it's like, I mean, did y'all not see him with the Clippers? Like when they let him do his thing, he was
he
getting
never
buckets.
really had a opportunity to show him what he still got. He never really had an opportunity.
Yes. And again, when and the few times they gave him an opportunity, he excelled. He did what he had to do, and he handled, which to me, I like a lot. I really do. I definitely do like that pickup, and it's gonna give them a lot of it's gonna give them a lot of mobility because you can start Boogie or you can have him come off the bench. As long as you're giving him some type of minutes, Boogie gonna give you something.
Looking at the last year, 2017, 2018 in New Orleans, he averaged 25 points a game and 12 rebounds. He went to Golden State, still put up 16 and 8. I didn't think that didn't work out. That Rockets team didn't work out. He only averaged like 9.6 or seven rebounds. Then the Clippers only played 16 games. He really never had a shot to show what he really can do.
Nope. They gave him a couple opportunities in the playoffs, so he took it, but they didn't like him. Rio with the last comment of the night. He's an intimidating figure in the paint and can shoot the rock. I like Boogie. And that's something people kind of forget about him. He can't space the floor. If you leave him out in 3-point line, that's why I kind of like if they're gonna run this massive lineup.
Yeah.
Everyone can shoot besides Giannis.
He a more intimidated Brook Lopez.
Yes, and Giannis is the only one in that lineup who can't shoot. Who you'll dare him to shoot. You're not gonna dare Bobby Portis to shoot. He's got a shot that you gotta respect. Same with Boogie. Same with Drew. Same with Middleton.
And Boogie can put that. He can put the ball on the floor
deck and drive, so he can hit you with a pump fake. You're up. All of a sudden, he's driving, and now you got to collapse on him. So I'll be honest with you, I'm in love with the pickup. I love it. I think it's phenomenal.
And if Budenholzer is smart, you take Giannis out of the game. I'm giving Cousins in the ball in the paint.
Yes. Oh my God, most definitely. 100%. 100%. I'm doing this. I'm running certain plays for DeMarcus Cousins. I am gonna run certain plays for DeMarcus Cousins because he showed us in the Clippers. He's not who he once was, but what he is right now is still plenty to go average at least 10.
Yeah.
Like he showed you, like, bro, I can average 10, no problem.
And they got on the 7-game win streak, so they clicking at the right time.
Right. So, and on top of that, adding a guy like Boogie who understands at this point he's a role player, honestly, it's easier to integrate a role player than a superstar.
And my last thing, he's a better PJ Tucker.
Not even close. 110%.
So
110%, bro. Follow us on Twitter at Prideful Takes. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff, feel free to tweet at me. And also, if you guys have any news or anything like that you guys wanted to talk about, feel free to tag the page. And if we like it, we'll go ahead and we'll make it we'll put it on the show. Catch it on Facebook at Prideful Takes Podcast. Not only do we go live on Facebook, but we also put up news and memes. And if you don't have a Facebook, we'll also go live on YouTube at the same exact time. Visit our website, www.pridefultakes.com. Not only is every episode of the podcast there, but we also have original articles. And check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the Prideful Takes Podcast. Before we go, Rio had a banger of a question. Everyone in their prime, bench, cut, D-Wade, Melo, CP3.
Hey, I did this on Twitter like 2 days ago. It's crazy that he just asked this question, but who you want to go first? You can
go first. Go first. I'm gonna let you
go. Start, bench, cut. So
for me, this is easy.
For me, I'm starting Melo. I know. Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, but Prime Melo was unstoppable. Prime Melo, he can get a bucket on anywhere off the court.
So can D-Wade.
And I'm benching CP3, and I gotta cut D-Wade.
I'm starting CP3. Obviously on their prime, I'm starting CP3 because not only can CP3 get a bucket, he can also have other people get a bucket. Prime D-Wade, I believe, is extremely disrespected. I mean, Prime D-Wade literally toyed with dudes. He was quote undersized and made dudes look like his bitch. That's what Prime D-Wade did. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's me.
I just like Prime Melo just a tad bit better,
and that's fine for me. I'm starting CP3. I'm a bench D-Wade and I'm a cut Melo. But that's enough for us. Obviously, it's been your boy Pride along with Mike. This has been another successful episode of the Prideful Takes podcast. We will be right back here on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time to talk about all the shizness that be popping off. So on behalf of Mike, it's your boy Pride. We'll see you on the next one.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the
2 on the season. 2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go.
Did several of those inside low kicks.